I'm going to say this only once. I would like a boiled egg, and I want it runny.
I would like a boiled egg, and I would like it runny. How was that so icky the way he said that? Hey guys, Madison here, back for another Film Friday. What am I watching today? I'm glad you asked. I have been known to occasionally, or quite often, make executive decisions on my channel about what I watch. Usually it's decided each week by Patreon polls, but this week I decided to make one of my executive decisions, and I am watching Road to Perdition. I've put this movie on polls a few times, at least, in the past, and it's never won. In fact, it's never even gotten close, and I've been very patient, but man, I just have been wanting to watch this movie so bad because, number one, it's kind of a thriller crime movie, I believe, which is just right up my alley. I love thrillers, I love mystery crime movies, anything like that, so that was a big check on my list. And then the cast, we've got Tom Hanks and Paul Newman, which Paul Newman has really become one of my faves over the last couple of years. All of the movies I've watched with him on my channel, he's one of those that I did not know at all until I started my channel, and then I started watching some of his movies and absolutely just fell in love with him and Robert Redford, the iconic duo. So when I found out that Paul Newman was in this movie, that made me want to watch it even more. And I feel like there's someone else I know in the cast, but it's been so long since I looked at the information that I don't even remember, so I'm going to be pleasantly surprised. I also remember absolutely nothing about the synopsis. I know I read the synopsis back in the day when I first started putting it on polls, but it's been so long that I've completely forgotten, so I'm going in totally blind, and I'm excited because I always love doing that. So I'm just gonna jump right in and watch the movie because long have I waited for this, y'all. Let's watch Road to Perdition. Jude Law, that's who it is. That's who I was forgetting. Oh, I'm so excited.
There are many stories about Michael Sullivan. Some say he was a decent man. Some say there was no good in him at all. But I once spent 6 weeks on the road with him in the winter of 1931.
Okay, love the premise. I always have a weakness for that trope, like hard-hearted, cold individual takes orphan child under their wing, becomes a mentor. The lone wolf and cub trope, as I like to call it. I was talking, but I'm pretty sure I just saw Stanley Tucci and Daniel Craig. If so, this movie is stacked. Based on a graphic novel, that's interesting. Usually it's just a novel. Music by Thomas Newman. Yes! Already obsessed with the soundtrack. Always a huge part of a movie for me. Oh... Is that his brother? Ugh, math. The worst.
I'll help you with it later. Go fetch your father.
Tom Hanks? Interesting. He's either a criminal or a law enforcement officer. I don't know which yet.
Dinner's ready.
Thank you.
Seems terrified of his own dad.
Michael,
Sir?
it's a wake, so I don't want to see those dice.
No, sir.
So the kid's name is Michael? Michael Sullivan is the guy I was talking about at the beginning. So is his dad Michael Sullivan and he's Michael Sullivan Jr.?
Ice helps preserve the body.
Who died?
So, who's got a hug for a lonely old man?
That's Paul Newman. Oh my goodness.
I have urgent business with these young gentlemen. Upstairs, jacket pocket in my study, before I change my mind.
Is Paul Newman their grandfather?
Which little Sullivan are you?
Michael, sir.
Michael Sullivan.
Mr. Rooney sent me to get his jacket.
You come back later, huh? I'm busy.
That looked kind of like Daniel Craig, but I couldn't tell. Did he call Paul Newman Mr. Rooney, so he's not their grandfather, maybe just a family friend?
It's good to have so many friends in this house again. Since Mary died, well, it's just been me and my boy rattling around in these rooms.
Oh yeah, that's Daniel Craig.
It would be dishonest of me to say that I knew Danny well, but lose one of us, it hurts us all.
So these people are all criminals. They're part of a gang or something. This feels like the mafia.
My brother Danny wasn't wise, but he was loyal, and he never told a lie. Now, I've worked for you for many years now, John, and we've never had a disagreement. I've come to realize that you rule this town as God rules the earth. You know, you give and you take away. Lovely.
Boy, they stopped him before he could go anywhere with that. You don't speak a word against Mr. Rooney. Man, y'all look at that house. What kind of crime have they been involved in that he got that kind of money? Like, this is an operation.
You all right?
Yeah, he's fine. I'll talk to him.
Take Mike with you. Just talk, nothing more.
This sounds like Irish music, which I love.
Why are you always smiling?
Because it's all so f***ing hysterical.
Wow, that got dark fast. That is not the response I was expecting.
What's Papa's job? He works for Mr. Rooney.
He's some kind of hitman or enforcer.
He goes on missions for Mr. Rooney. They're very dangerous. That's why he brings his gun.
Oh, he's reading the Lone Ranger.
It's all so hysterical.
He's like, what did you say? Does he like to think of his dad like the Lone Ranger, but the truth is much darker. Why did he go past the shed? Is he not allowed to go in the shed? Yeah, Dad keeps his gear in the shed. Finally gonna see what he does here. Or are they going to talk to that guy? Talk. Did he hide in there? Oh my gosh. He's gonna see and or hear something he was not supposed to. Okay, this is not them going to talk to that guy. We must have skipped over that because Mr. Rooney said, just talking, nothing more. This is something else.
Don't get me wrong, Finn. I feel for you. I do. You can't let a thing like that give you cause to go mouthing off.
They are talking to that guy.
Come on now, Finn. Make this easy.
My brother was not a liar.
Excuse me?
To protect my family and keep my job, I'll stay quiet, but don't think I don't know something's going on. You tell your father my brother never stole from him.
So Mr. Rooney had his brother Danny killed.
You think we don't know? I mean, you've been spending so much time in Chicago.
What the hell are you thinking?
Oh my gosh.
Michael! You saw everything?
Oh yeah.
It's one of yours?
He must have been hiding in the car.
Well, can he keep a secret?
He's my son.
You take him home. Take a walk. Perfect night for a stroll.
He scares me to death in this movie. Like, he is unhinged. Oh my gosh. He's gonna be the big bad of the movie. Absolutely. 100%. Daniel Craig is the bad guy. Yeah, he's gonna be our villain at the end. I mean, what did Mr. Rooney say? Just talking, nothing else. And what does his son, I'm assuming Daniel Craig is his son, what does he do? Turn around and shoots the guy. Kind of figured that was gonna happen because he's woohoo.
We had nothing. He gave us a home, a life. We owe him. Do you understand?
Yes.
Well, now he knows what Daddy does. He's seen it firsthand. He already kind of knew. He suspected, but seeing it is something else. That's why he's so freaking terrified of his dad. He's got to try to hide it from his little brother.
What's he doing here? Michael was hiding in the car when I went out last night. Spoken to him. Won't happen again.
She didn't even know, and she probably doesn't know what happened. I'm sure her husband does not tell her the details of his business, because the less she knows, the safer she is.
Our secret, right? I'm talking about the dice.
He ain't talking about the dice.
How is Michael? Is he okay?
I've spoken to him.
You can't protect him forever. If it wasn't this, it'd be something else.
What is he doing? Why is he getting in a fight at school? He just wanted to take it out on somebody.
Rance met with John and me earlier.
And I told Mr. Rance what I told him before. What men do after work is what made us rich.
I know that guy. He just keeps popping up. I just saw him in Secretariat.
Connor, is there something you would like to say about last night?
2 weeks and a month. What can I say?
We lost a good man last night. You think it's funny?
Yes, he does.
I'd like to apologize.
Try again.
Strike two, man. You better do better this time.
Gentlemen, my apologies.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Man, that is a look right there. Oh, you see that? Mr. Rooney and Mike. Rooney Jr. is jealous of their relationship. He feels like the neglected real son of Mr. Rooney. I love the showing instead of the telling in this movie. It is fantastic. A+. Filmmakers take note. Respect your audience.
Dad forgot to give you this. It's just a reminder for Tony Calvino. Flight again. Look, I'm sorry about last night.
No, you're not. What did he just really give him? Because I do not believe it was from Rooney Sr. That was sketch.
Here to see Tony Calvino.
Yeah, and who are you?
Mike Sullivan.
What are you plotting and scheming, Rooney Jr.?
Is Mr. Rooney looking for anyone? You know, anyone like me, for example? Is there any chance you might ask him?
Sure.
Mr. Calvino, Mike Sullivan's here.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, you know what it's about, don't you?
Show me. Hey, stick around, okay?
I don't think Bro's gonna help you. Bro's wanting to work for Mr. Rooney.
I have a letter for you from Mr. Rooney.
Am I in trouble?
I don't know.
I'm afraid that thing is like poisoned or something, like he's gonna touch it and die. I don't know, guys, I'm paranoid now. What did it say? Oh my gosh.
Michael.
Oh no! No! Oh my gosh. You monster. I told you guys. I totally think he's acting alone too. He did it, not Rooney Sr. I don't think he had anything to do with this. Rooney Jr. wrote the note. Oh my gosh, he just killed his wife and his little boy. Oh my gosh, this poor kid is gonna be scarred for life. He didn't deserve any of this. Oh my gosh, guys. Is he gonna know Rooney Jr. did it? He should.
I'm sorry. Well, he would have talked. Kid would have talked.
I curse die! You were born. I curse it!
Okay, so Rooney Sr. did not know he was gonna do that, right? He's upset about it, but oh my god.
This house is not our home anymore. It's just an empty building.
So Mr. Rooney knows like everything's over with Mike Sullivan. Like he's gonna want revenge, but he still was gonna he hugs his son after he does that. What is gonna happen now, guys?
I don't want it. No, Michael. I don't want it.
Take it.
I don't want it, Paul.
Boy, take it. You got 6 shots. If I'm not back in half an hour, you go see Reverend Lynch at First Methodist and you tell him what's happened. Do not go to Father Calloway.
Guys, what is about to happen?
So where's Connor?
You know I can't tell you that, Mike. If I tell you, I'm a dead man anyway. Think, Mike, I'm just the messenger.
He was sweating a little bit.
Then give Mr. Rooney a message for me.
What is it?
Oh, the body count is going up so quickly. I thought he wasn't gonna do it. Lord. So he's got it out for Rooney Sr. and Rooney Jr. Mr. Rooney really thought $25,000 was gonna make it all better.
Where are we going?
To Chicago. There's a man there who runs things. I've done some work for him. You have to find out where he stands.
Yeah, I mean, Rooney Sr. really is complicit because he's helping his son hide from Mike, and if he was a just man, he should have said, you know, what, I wash my hands of you, I'm gonna let Mike do whatever he's gonna do to you, but instead he's helping him hide, so yeah, Rooney Sr. is complicit. Y'all, this escalated so quickly. Going to the big city.
I want you to wait for me here.
Gosh, this soundtrack is so gorgeous. So dark and haunting, but beautiful. Kind of just like ponderous.
I need to talk to Mr. Nitti.
He's awful busy.
I can wait.
Okay. Take the man to the top.
I feel so bad for this kid. Lost his mom and his little brother. He's probably blaming himself.
What can I do for you, Mike?
I'd like to work for you. And in return, I'd like you to turn a blind eye to what I have to do.
And what is that?
Kill the man who murdered my family.
That's Stanley Tucci. He is in this movie.
All these years, you've been living under the protection of people who care about you. So if you go ahead with this, if you open that door, you're walking through it alone. And all that loyalty will no longer exist for you.
Because the Rooneys are so powerful and they have all those connections.
Drove all through the night to see you.
Now I suggest you drive yourself back.
Ouch.
Go home and bury your wife and child.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, Mike, but I'm not going to do anything to help you out. Because all I care about is my money and my interests. Don't upset the apple cart. He's about to learn that all his business buddies, they aren't real friends. He's about to realize how alone he is, except for his son. What? They were sitting in the other room? Oh my gosh.
What do I do?
What would you do if Sullivan were just some guy?
God help me. Make it quick.
I know who to call.
Well, Mike went to the wrong guy. Guy's a backstabber, plotting his murder. Holy crap. The plot twist.
2 minutes. You got it, Mr. McGuire?
Jude Law at a murder scene. My gosh, that guy's not even dead yet. So he's that kind of crime scene photographer. Okay, y'all, this movie does not pull any punches. So I feel like Jude Law could be the perfect ally for Mike. Those two need to team up.
No, never met him. But I know his work. He traveling alone?
Oh, they're hiring him to kill Sullivan. I didn't see that coming.
Your mom's sister, she lives in Perdition. She'll take you in.
Road to Perdition. He's gonna know what they look like now.
Hello?
Sarah,
Mike, where are you?
we're on our way to your place.
I'll be back there in 2 days.
How was it?
Couldn't even go to their funeral.
We'll see you soon.
Is he standing on the stairs listening? Dang it.
Hello, operator. I was just cut off. Could you reconnect me?
Might not be another diner for a while, so you should have something to eat.
I'm not hungry.
Don't leave the kid in the car. Killer Jude Law is gonna show up. Oh my gosh, and he's got murder in his eyes. Oh my gosh, why did he leave his kid in the car? I don't care if the kid's not gonna eat. Take him into the diner with you. Do not leave him by himself ever. Maybe he won't look in the car. Maybe he'll just go straight to the diner. What's he gonna do? Just walk in and try to shoot him in front of all those people?
You got a special?
Everything's special. Everything except the food.
You ought to be on the stage.
Don't I know it?
Mike's red flags are going, boo. Red alert, red alert.
Is that your profession or your pleasure?
To be paid to do what you love. Isn't that the dream? Yourself?
I'm a salesman. Machine parts.
Machine parts.
He is pouring so much into his drink.
I'm press. I shoot the dead. Dead bodies. That is, I don't kill them.
Liar.
You ever seen one?
Yeah.
Terrible thing. But it sure makes you feel alive. Don't it?
I'll drink to that.
Oh my gosh, did you see the sweat just go down his face?
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you help me out here?
I don't know who scares me more in this movie, Daniel Craig or Jude Law. Both creepy as heck. I hope Mike never comes back. Yeah, he slipped out the back. Go, go, go. Haha. Slashed his tire.
What's going on?
Get out! What do you think
He just shoots anybody who gets in his way. Heck, dude.
Get out of the car. When I say get down, you get down. You listen to me from now on. Or you start taking care of yourself.
I can take care of myself fine. You think it's my fault this happened?
It was not your fault. None of this is your fault.
That was what he needed to hear.
You have to listen to me now. I have to make Capone give up Connor. There's one thing Chicago loves more than anything, and that's their money. We're gonna have to find it and take it.
He's gonna rob banks? Oh Lord, guys.
Can I make one suggestion?
No, I'm doing this.
Okay. Oh gosh.
45 miles an hour.
His eyes are barely above the dash.
That's the tractor coming up now. Watch out for the tractor.
Please slow down or go around it.
Watch out for the tractor!
Oh Lord.
I wasn't expecting another deposit until the end of the month.
Actually, I'm making a withdrawal. Everything you're holding for Capone.
They'll kill you.
You don't say.
Yeah, he knows and he does not care.
Yeah. That's for you. Call it a handling charge. Tell Chicago I took it.
You really trust me not to say anything?
Always trust a bank manager.
Your driver's here. I mean, that'll get their attention. Oh gosh. He has got to learn how to drive better. This is like the most humorous scene we've had in this movie. There hasn't been much. Oh, repainting the car. And now we wait.
So what brings you guys to the middle of nowhere?
Bank robbers.
Michael, don't even kid.
So when do I get my share of the money?
How much do you want?
$200.
Okay. Deal.
It's a lot of money, especially back then, but Mike has probably got so much more than that.
Could I have had more?
You'll never know.
Joke's on you, Michael, because you didn't ask. Pops has given you the silent treatment.
How much did they take?
How much?
What are we paying you for?
I feel like a prisoner.
You should be.
You are being protected.
I can look after myself.
No, you can't. You're a big baby who doesn't know his thumb from his dick.
My father is an old man. I am the future. So don't you ever talk to me that way again.
I don't think anyone's gonna want to work for you, buddy.
I can get you money. I just... It won't be Chicago's. They took it all out 2 days ago.
Who authorized it?
The accountant.
What's his name?
This is Mr. Rance in the bridal suite.
Oh, that guy.
I would like a boiled egg, and I want it runny.
I would like a boiled egg, and I would like it runny. That was so icky the way he said that.
You don't want me, mister. Can we close the curtains?
The way he does his fingers is so creepy.
I'm ready.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Runny.
It's open.
Your head's about to be open.
Mr. Sullivan, may I ask you to lower your weapon? And what do you want?
Information.
In here.
Oh no.
Opening bell on Wall Street.
Come on, open it.
Which one is it?
Oh my gosh. Oh, he's not gonna hear it. He knew he was coming. Oh, he just took glass to the eye. Oh my gosh. Did that hit him through the wall? Runny. Too soon? Dadgummit.
I'm okay, just watch the road.
Man says he is okay. It's definitely not okay. Oh, that was close. Too close for comfort.
Pull!
Better find someone to help him. Someone with no connections to any of this, hopefully. Ooh. Well, luckily that guy was some kind of doctor, it seems like, because he just extracted that bullet. I love this father-son bonding.
He's a good worker.
You have any kids?
No, we met too late. He dotes on you. You don't see it.
Math, huh?
Yeah, I always hated it.
Same.
Did you like Peter more than me?
I loved you both the same.
You were different with me.
Maybe it was because Peter was just such a sweet boy. You were more like me. And I didn't want you to be.
I love it. They're talking it out. They're working through their issues, making progress. Aww. It's so strange for him, like he's getting to know his son for the first time, and his son's already 12 years old, but he was never around and never got close.
Michael, wake up. We left you something.
So does he know where to go now to find Connor, like where he makes his deposits? Oh man. Well, their lives are going to be a little different now.
Hello, John. I want to talk. Downstairs. Read this. Connor's been stealing from you for years.
Oh.
He was betraying you.
I know.
He murdered Annie and Peter.
There are only murderers in this room. This is the life we chose, the life we lead. And there is only one guarantee. None of us will see heaven.
Michael could.
Then do everything that you can to see that that happens. Leave. I'm begging you.
And if I go?
Then I will mourn the son I lost.
The difference is Rooney was willing to throw Mike under the bus, but not willing to throw his son under the bus. There was a different loyalty there. As much as he raised Mike and claimed to love him and everything, there was a different standard there. God, that was such a good scene, y'all. I am loving this.
What are you gonna do?
Just one last thing, and then it's done. Go back to bed, Michael.
Oh, that was such a parallel to that first scene with them, with Michael in the hallway. Gosh dang it, guys. He's gonna get killed, isn't he? He's gonna get killed and little Michael's gonna be all alone in the world. And there's the beginning with Michael standing by himself and he's like, I was on the run with him for 6 weeks. And I'm like, well, how did that end? He's probably gonna get killed. Dang it. Oh gosh, what if he follows him and that's what gets Mike killed? Oh my gosh, he knows it's it. He's just not even... What a shot.
I'm glad it's you.
What a line, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, there are so many witnesses. He knows this is it. He's just like, he's on a suicide mission at this point. Y'all.
Then Al wants your assurance that after that, it's over. The Lexington Hotel, room 1432.
Oh my gosh. Just don't miss, Mike. Oh my gosh. We didn't even get a conversation. We didn't have a moment to process. He just walks in and does it. Like, oh my gosh, I was not expecting it to be like that. Holy cow, that just happened so fast. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of shocked. Did not expect this, guys. I just know it's not over there. Something's gonna happen. I mean, all those people saw him. It was dark outside, dark and rainy, so maybe nobody got a good look at his face. I'm just gonna be shocked if we get a happy ending. I'm expecting tragedy. We're at the ocean, like at the beginning.
Is that the house?
That's it.
Hey! I knew there was a dog.
Oh, it's a golden retriever.
Sarah, it's me, Mike.
Is she gone? Is someone gonna shoot him? Guys, you have got to be kidding me. That guy. Michael, don't you give him that gun. He's gonna kill you. Shoot him, Michael.
Give me the gun.
Oh, he didn't even pull the trigger.
I couldn't do it.
I'm sorry.
Dang it, guys. I knew it was gonna happen, but it hurts. And here we are.
I saw then that my father's only fear was that his son would follow the same road.
Yeah.
And that was the last time I ever held a gun. People always thought I grew up on a farm, and I guess, in a way, I did. But I lived a lifetime before that, in those 6 weeks on the road. When people ask me if Michael Sullivan was a good man, I always give the same answer. He was my father.
You know that feeling you get when you've just watched like one of your favorite movies of all time for the first time, or you've just watched one of the best movies you've ever seen for the first time? That's how I'm feeling right now. Like, I am shook. That was amazing, and it's so funny because it's not funny, it's cool that I knew nothing about this movie, but just knowing the genre and the general vibe it seemed to give and the cast, this movie was calling to me, and I just was convinced going in that I was probably going to love it, and I was right. I loved that. That was exactly the kind of thriller I love. I couldn't even sum it up in words, but that is the exact kind of thriller that I love. And I love outlaw stories where outlaws, criminals are the protagonists. As you see here, my book is literally called Gone Outlaw, set in the Old West, though not in 1931. But I find outlaws and criminal characters so incredibly fascinating, and I love stories that can make us root for them, even though they're bad people and they do bad stuff, and we know that they deserve to be punished. We know that they deserve for justice to catch up with them, but also we can't help rooting for them because there's another guy who's worse than they are, who has maybe done something to them or their family in this case, and we root for that outlaw, that criminal, to get revenge and to get even. And oh my gosh, guys, my mind is racing because that was just so good. First of all, just kind of off the bat, I'm going to go down the list here of things that were just stunning, beautiful, top-notch, like the cinematography. I loved the color scheme of the movie. It was all like neutral colors, just kind of browns, grays, black, white. It was there was no saturation. There was not a lot of color. It was very dull and grim. It was very grim, a lot of dark shadows, and obviously very befitting to the tone and the subject of the movie. What I loved about it is there was no glory in the violence and the brutality of the lifestyle. It was not glorified. It wasn't like hyped up and made out to be cool. It was shown how dark and terrible and rough and just awful that lifestyle is, and the toll it takes on the people involved in it, and the consequences it has on their families. I just loved how all of that was portrayed, and the damage it does to the next generation. Like, you can see how toxic the relationship was between John Rooney and Connor Rooney. It was like John loved him, but also he just probably mistreated him a lot growing up, and we don't know exactly how Connor was raised or when his mother died exactly, but you can tell that, I mean, obviously he was not raised in a healthy environment, and so look at the monster he became because of who his father was. He ended up like his father, or even worse than his father. So we have that there, that father and son relationship, and then we have the father and son relationship between Mike and Michael. And there the cycle was broken. With the Rooneys, the cycle was continued, but with the Sullivans, the cycle was broken because Michael did not become like his father. He never killed, he never pulled the trigger. He rose above, became a better person, and decided that violence was not going to be his life. He wanted no part of that life. All of that ended with his dad, and Michael moved on and hopefully lived a very happy life after that. But, you know, he could never forget any of that or fully heal from that trauma because, oh my gosh, he lost his whole family. He lost his dad, his mom, and his little brother. I mean, and then just moves in with two complete strangers. I mean, they were two very nice complete strangers, but oh my gosh, I just can't even imagine. And all of that happens when he's just 12 years old. Such a pivotal time, you know, right before he becomes a teenager. And for the whole rest of his life, never having his family because of what his father did, because of his job, the line of work he was in. And oh my gosh, everything was just so tight. I said it during the movie, but I just loved how much they were showing instead of telling. They weren't just doing scene after scene after scene of exposition telling us all this stuff. They were showing and telling us just enough to where we could piece everything together and follow along. And the soundtrack was gorgeous. I loved that too. They could have done this just big and bombastic, and like again, if they were trying to hype up the violence and stuff, just like an action kind of soundtrack or something during the gunfights, but there was none of that. I mean, it was just like this beautiful piano. Like, I am never going to forget that scene where Mike was just gunning down all of Rooney's bodyguards, and then Rooney, and there was no sound. Like, you couldn't hear the gunshots. All you can hear is just this beautiful piano playing, and I was sitting there going, this scene is so beautiful, but he's just gunning down people with a machine gun. Like, but it was so beautiful the way it was shot, the lighting in that scene. It was so film noir, like the fedora hats and the long trench coats and the dark rainy streets and the cars. It was just, guys, I loved it. The performances were fantastic. I still don't know who I'm more terrified of. Crazy Connor Rooney or creepy McGuire. I have never been so scared of Daniel Craig and Jude Law in my life. They were both so creepy and so chilling in this movie. Like, Connor going at the beginning, because it's so hysterical, right in Peter's face. That might be the most chilling moment in the movie. That was scary. And then McGuire's just creepy grin. Every time he grinned, it freaked me out. Like, good job, dude, you freaked me out. But oh my gosh, even though this film was so brutal and so cold, it had so much heart in it. I loved the relationship between father and son. Mike and Michael was just fantastic, and watching them bond, watching that develop over the course of the movie was just absolutely beautiful. And oh my gosh, that ending was heartbreaking. I knew it was coming. I was like, he's gonna die somehow. And then when he goes in and Sarah's not in the house, I'm assuming McGuire killed her. Don't know, but that's what I'm assuming. And when it was just so quiet, when he was standing there at the window, I was like, oh no, here it comes. I didn't know who it was gonna be. I thought it could be anybody. But dang McGuire, thank goodness he got his, because I was going to be upset if he just walked away. Or if I knew he wasn't going to kill Michael, but I didn't know, like, I assumed Michael was about to kill him. That's what I thought was about to happen. And then, like, father like son kind of thing. But they went the opposite direction with Michael couldn't do it and Mike had to do it for him. And Michael being like, I couldn't do it. And his father saying, I know. Like, what a beautiful, gorgeous, but just brutal and heartbreaking movie. So good. So well done. Absolutely loved it. Oh my gosh. Definitely one I'm going to have to watch again, because this is one of those movies that I watch and at the end I just go like, art, cinema. It was amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Head on over to my Patreon, link in the description below if you want to see my full-length watch along. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys next week for another Film Friday.